I lingered on the rickety veranda of my old family house, my boy's faint inhalations resounding in the twilight as my sibling's tones sliced through the cold air. He's merely manipulating you for pity. My veins chilled not from her statement, but since I'd constructed the platform for it. For ages I'd secured their affection with my finances, my quietness, my embarrassment. And right then, I vowed this evening I'd dismantle everything. My name is Nathan. I'm 40, a single parent, a dad, the person who fixes gaps, splintered plaster, faulty networks, broken vows. I'm an independent programmer, the type who operates in a messy underground room, illuminated by the buzz of 3 screens. My routines are predictable: quick brew at sunrise, a flask of broth for my child Owen, and a tenacious satisfaction in maintaining our tiny universe steady. Owen's 15, reserved yet incredibly clever, with a brain that speeds quicker than his breathing can match. He's dealing with asthma, severe enough to tote a puffer constantly, but he confronts it with determination I could never match. Respiratory drills, a frayed anxiety sphere, a fighter tempered in hardship. Our clan get-togethers are a performance, and my sister Claire is the star. Her speech echoes like a beam of light, her spouse Greg applauding like a devoted crowd. My folks Ellen and Roger cling to her every phrase, their ideal offspring. Me? I'm the behind-the-scenes worker, transferring funds for Claire's emergencies, her late payments, her child's sports equipment, her spontaneous trips. I've always assisted. It's my nature, but there's a darkness in the atmosphere, a resentful sharpness I've evaded for too long. Every assembly I sense it. Claire's jabs, Greg's sneers, the manner they look at Owen as if he's a flawed container. This Easter I informed Owen we'd linger for 60 minutes, perhaps shorter. He stowed his puffer and a thumbed-through fantasy book. I carried a hope. Let's endure this. We arrived at the stony driveway of my parents' waterside cottage. Claire's vehicle already stationed, low beats pulsing from its audio. Owen clutched his tome, his fingers blanched. Within, the atmosphere was dense with pine and roasted pork, but a tart hint persisted like moist timber post storm. Claire welcomed me with an embrace that seemed like a frisk. Still programming in your lair, Nate? Her gaze shifted to Owen. What's with the volume? Planning to retreat to a nook once more. He gazed at the worn planks. I ought to have intervened. I failed to. Supper proceeded like a foreseen screenplay. Mom rearranged the wild bloom arrangement. Dad grumbled about fuel costs. Claire dominated the gathering with tales of her newest transaction. Then it occurred. Owen hacked. A piercing, rasping noise, his palm searching for his puffer. I spotted the fear in his gaze, oxygen eluding him. I passed him his hydration container, murmuring, "Steady inhales, pal." Claire observed. "What's that?" "His tiny aid," she remarked, her chuckle keen as shattered crystal. Greg snickered. "He's merely manipulating you for pity." I met Owen's stare, his complexion ashen, his torso rising and falling. "We're going outdoors," I stated softly but resolute. Claire bent forward, her tone sugary with pretended worry. "Nathan, he's got to endure it. Existence doesn't halt for a hack." My parents remained mute, carving their meat. I rose, the seat creaking on the timber. Owen's not pretending, and we're departing. We exited, the water's icy gust stronger than the meal area's quiet. But that wasn't the conclusion. In the vehicle, Owen's speech was scarcely audible. "I spoiled Easter, right?" I gripped the wheel, my hands damp. No, youngster, they did. But the reality was a weight in my stomach. I'd permitted this. For years, I'd been their backup, rescuing Claire's misfortunes. Her mobile charges, her auto fixes, her relaxation retreats masked as crises. It accumulated. $7,800 for their video services, $5,200 for power statements, $9,000 for advances that evaporated like mist. I could afford it, so I provided. But each deposit was permission for them to view Owen as a defect to repair. At residence, my device vibrated like a confined insect. "Claire, you're overly dramatic." "He's okay." "Mom, don't spoil Easter." "Nathan, Greg, why's my transfer failing? Fix it." Each message was a thorn in my flesh. Last autumn, I'd cautioned them I'd halt the funds by springtime. I'd dispatched charts, established deadlines. They ridiculed it, labeled me Mr. Automaton. But this night, something broke. I wasn't their repairman any longer. I wasn't their dupe. I rested in my underground space, the radiance eye off my displays throwing shades. Owen slumbering above. My digits quivered as I accessed profiles. Video platforms, terminated for Claire and Greg. Parents web, shifted to a pay-as-you-go option. Crisis reserve shut down. I composed a note, icy as metal. I'm finished subsidizing your existences. Honor Owen. But we're finished. Profile details dispatched. I pressed transmit. My device exploded. Claire's rings, Greg's messages, Mom's recordings. I allowed it to drone. My heartbeat quickened, but my thoughts were clear. I wasn't simply halting deposits. I was severing ties. At 2 a.m., Claire rang once more. I responded, preparing for conflict. Her tone was desperate, unpolished. Nathan, the vehicle installment failed. Greg stranded at the fuel stop. You can't execute this. I chuckled, an empty noise. I declared I'd cease. You didn't trust me. Then she revealed it. The hidden truth I'd concealed profoundly. You are indebted to me. After all I've done for you. My windpipe constricted. She referred to him. My relative from ages past.